Presidentship Chairman, our Habib, my good friend, and the passionate architect that I know, and Nagpur, the principal of the school. Good afternoon, and all the faculty of the school, but especially all the students who are here and their parents. Welcome to the world of architecture. It is indeed a fascinating world. Some of you may perhaps have some exposure to it through people at home, but most of you perhaps it's a new field. I also not only congratulate your parents, but also not just for having you sort of take up this line, but also for the fact that after listening to the oaths and some of the stories that Habibji has mentioned, that the bravery that you're showing to let your kids come and study architecture here. I think it's a subject that you can't compare with any other field, honestly. Whether it's your other children that nephews, nieces, friends, kids are studying others. They're studying sciences, they're studying medicine, they're studying art somewhere. Believe me, architecture is a completely unique field by itself, and it is, in a sense, a mother of all these fields. While you're studying architecture, frankly, you're studying everything. And that's really the joy of studying architecture. Part of my being here is being really envious of the fact that you guys are starting a 5-year program, 10 semester, I would say, program in architecture. I would envy you at all times because it's something that for every architect, though PIADS the best days of your life, and you it's the passion that it filled in you is something that you want to carry throughout your profession. Being from where I was and where I studied architecture, we used to, I think, PIADS have the same format here that you get a code number or a number on the basis of your year of intake, and that number stays with you throughout your 5 years, and believe me, it's a number that stayed with me throughout my career. One studies for 5 or 6 years, but then you're practicing for the next 50 or 40 years. But the number that you picked up on the first day that you joined the school will probably be with you for the next 45 years of your life. Suddenly it will become a passport in a lot of your, your ATM accounts and all kinds of things, and you suddenly realize this number is, sort of recurring in your life. It's a stamp that you're going to get. And it's going to be here, not there. And I believe me, that's the message I want to give you. All of you have traveled, I'm sure, and there are lots of buildings that you go and see, in different cities of different eras, different geographies, different parts of the world, in India. There are a few buildings that you walk into, a few areas, a few precincts, that suddenly just give you immense joy. There's an exhilaration that you. And one could take the name of iconic buildings like the Taj Mahal or the Gol Gumbaz or Gateway of India or some such thing. You walk in there and you feel different. And that feeling really is where architecture begins to touch you. And that's the feeling that you really need to understand architecture with. It's not a syllabus, it's not a textbook, it's not something that you crack a code to say if I get 50% and I graduate, मैं बन जाऊंगा architect. There's one thing of getting a stamp of saying you graduated, and the other thing that you get from the heart. It's an experiential field. Believe me, it's not something that you sort of pass a bunch of tests and you say I'm an architect ban gaya. Because it's really not. That's not the. It's a matter of passion. You have to become like a Virat Kohli. You can sort of learn all the different strokes of cricket. But to become a Virat Kohli, for example, is a completely different cup of tea. And that's pretty much what an architect needs to be. It's not, so you might be saying, okay, I'm in 3rd year. You have to be inquisitive, you have to be questioning, you have to want to go to the 5th year jury yourself to see what are they talking about. I want to know. There is nothing that you don't have to study. There's everything that you have to know. You have to know climate, you have to know materials, you have to know the human body, you have to know light, you have to know the soil. It's a magnificent place to come here for. You go 1 kilometer outside this campus and you realize it's like a semi-arid region of India. You come here and you see these thousands of green trees. You think you're in some orchard. This is architectural magic. The fact that there is, a dedicated team of people in the middle of this arid region who can make this oasis. That is what architects can do. They can transform things. And that is, in fact, the wonderful connect that you have as an architect. You can be a magician if you want to be. And you have, the whole point is that you can go, you need to go beyond your brief. And you can only start doing that if you start from day one, questioning, being inquisitive, creating a fire in your belly to say, look, I want to sort of know more. And it's not about ticking the boxes, but of gaining knowledge. And there's a difference between being intelligent and being of having knowledge. And these are things that you are going to sort of learn over time. Like I also congratulate your parents, because believe me, you're going to see your kids transform. They're going to become, and the whole need is that you're going to become sort of mature citizens that can contribute to the community. And that's the whole thing. They're going to grow up. They're not going to be your little, 17-year-old kids anymore. In the next 2, 3, 4 years, you're going to see them transforming. And I think both the kids as well as the parents, you've got to have patience. I've heard a lot of everybody saying 5 years, 5 years. You cannot become a mature architect in 5 years, and I'll tell you that. You might get a certificate to say you're an architect. You might get a registration that says you're an architect. But if you, for example, tomorrow had a medical problem, would you go to a 23-year-old doctor? You would probably go to a 40-year-old doctor to say, you tell the 23-year-old, put a baal maka ke aao or lose hair like I have, and then I will come and get my surgery done with you. You probably say the same thing about a lawyer. Would you take a case of yours to a 23-year-old lawyer? I'm saying there is no rush, because you've got to grow up. And becoming an architect is something that you have to become. It's not something that you get certified to, just like a stamp on you. So it is something that sort of you have to evolve into becoming an architect. So I really, would urge you to stop thinking that this is like a, countdown timer to say, 5 saal mein nikalna hai, at the age of 25 I need to get married, and, don't be in a rush. World has changed. From the time before me, the people who taught me architecture are still practicing. And that's the amazing thing about what architecture is. Lots of people come, other friends from other professors come and say, you think you're going to retire? You don't retire. I mean, B.B. Doshi is what, 94? He is still the youngest guy I know, because his brain is still working. He's still an architect. And then they say, you're sort of, what is the passion of architecture? You're eating, sleeping, drinking, thinking of architecture all the time. You cross the road, you suddenly spot a building, you say, can this have been something else? Can this road have been done in a slightly different way? Look at, so in fact the fact that you're probably looking at things in the city which don't work is what you have to encourage yourself to say, now how can I help doing this? Because I know how to do it in a better way. And you then go out and, go talk to the community, sort of talk to things, and you can make the change. You can be the change, as they say, that you want to see. And these are all what great men have said. The fact is, as an architect, you can actually get these things done. So that is, in fact, the passion with which you have to lead your life. It's not just about, let's say, going to school 9 to 5. At the age, it's not a 9 to 5 job. You can't just put a switch on to say, Abhi main ghar ja raha hu. Even in your house, you can keep wondering, you're sitting at the dining table. He says, you think I could bring in more light from somewhere? You think I can get a cross ventilation in this room? This is something that you think of all the time. It is not something that you switch on and off, and you can't stop me from thinking, and you have to get yourself into a thing where it's something that you're going to be sort of immersed in the whole time, in sort of whatever you do, the way you conduct yourself. It's almost like that. You're changing the way you live. The other thing that I'm saying is, do not stop your hobbies. I'm sure some of you sing, some of you have been trained to dance, some of you have doing art, you write. All these little things that you like, you listen to music, you read, do not stop doing that, because all of it is going to add up to you becoming a good architect, believe me. Talk to your friends, engage with them, engage in the passions they have, because it's all going to help you becoming a better architect. So do not stop saying, oh God, there's so much work to do now, I should stop my dancing or my singing classes. Do not do that. Find a way to be able to balance yourself, because all this will make you a better architect. Just the fire of wanting to do everything will also make you a better architect. But believe me, it's a tough line. There's a lot of hard work involved. There is a sort of a little data that comes around to say that if you want to master anything, whether you want to learn to play the violin or, learn to sing or paint, they say you have to put in 10,000 hours of very dedicated, passionate, 10,000 hours. What does that, sort of come down to? And it's for anything. You want to learn carpentry, you want to become a good carpenter, you need to put 10,000 hours of hard work in that workshop to be able to. So if I were to just split it up, 10,000 hours, if I split it up into 5 years, 2,000 hours a year, it's 40 hours a week for 50 weeks in the year. Which means, you're doing like literally 9 to 5 for 50 weeks in the year, no holidays, just 2 weeks off for 5 years at a stretch, dedicated time. And if you don't put in those 40 hours, believe me, 10,000 hours will stretch over 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. It will probably take you 10 years to then to be skilled in what you do. So which is why I'm saying don't rush. Because that 10,000 hours you're going to need in any case. And you cannot fast track it or get on steroids to say I can do this in double time. You will, whatever you do, you will still be staying awake. I would think in first semester itself, you'll probably be awake at least, over the, I think, 15 or 16 weeks. I can easily say that you'll probably be awake at least like 7 or 8 overnights. I think overnight you'll probably be, used to in my time call it like doing a Batman, is when you sort of stay awake all night. And then you Superman is when you work one day, stay awake all night, and then you awake the next day to attend classes again. And then he said, he's Superman today because he's like literally 12 plus 12 plus 12 hours. And it's standard. Hopefully, if you put in the hard work in the beginning, it can you work. You don't mind. You may not need to do it when you are, a professional. But do not slack off on hard work because it's not going to show. It will just not show in the quality of the work you put in. It's not going to be magic. You might be put in, doing some, like learning computer drafting and sort of making great looking, drawings. But the quality of what your architecture is will not speak. It will just be, like you tick, like I said, all the boxes because you're told to make X number of drawings and you will make them and, but that's not architecture. It will come over time. There's no rush to become a great architect. Nobody becomes a great architect at the age of 23. They're all probably 43, 63, 83 years old and they're, start looking at being talked about as great architects. So the last thing I'll tell you is that in the sense is, who decides who is a successful architect? Society decides, you decide. The fact that, somebody has a Mercedes-Benz decides that he's a successful architect or he's got like a large office. The most interesting thing is once you start getting your peers, your other co-professionals start actually recognizing what you've been doing, and the accolades you get from your fellow professionals really then becomes the tag to you saying, yes, I think I've become a good architect. Because if my co-professionals who are otherwise normally all jealous of you start patting you on the back, that you are a good architect. And that's pretty much true for any profession, whether it's a doctor or a lawyer or anything. That when your co-professionals start talking about how, the good things you've done, how it has helped the profession, how it has helped other people, the society around you. Reach out to society. You have to, make friends with your neighbors, get empathetic, try to get people together to change things. Enjoy your life. You want to start doing things very differently from what you've been doing before. Like Aviv said, you're talking about sort of being re-educated. And believe me, you've not learned 3 dimensions in the 18 years or 70 years of your schooling. You probably just learn a little bit of z-axis in physics. That's a little bit, but you have to start thinking in 3 dimensions. So there's going to be a lot of unlearning and relearning that's going to happen. It's exciting, believe me, because you learn to use your hands, work in clay, work in all kinds of, I'm sure, different mediums, mess around with stuff that you probably not to do. You guys also teach welding in school. You're going to have, your eyes sort of all swollen up because you did it wrong. Who gets this opportunity? Nobody gets it. No other profession or no other sort of academic faculty gets this. So my short and sweet little advice to you is, don't stop enjoying yourself. This is the first day that you're going to actually be able to immerse yourself in a completely new way of life, and don't stop doing that for the rest of your life. Thank you.